100 Mob in the building, hustle back. You already know what time it is with me, straight up and down. You may be the top hustler in the hood, but your back is very large, straight up and down. So the whole hood named you Hustle Back. Nah, we want to talk about this llama face. Now, we want to say something about Ye. Now, everybody think Ye tripping. You know what I'm saying? For saying what he said about Boosie. Now, the thing is, everybody think Kanye West is tripping because it's like he said what he said about what he was doing with his cousin. Come to find out, he didn't write the lyrics. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? Now, we're not going to get into who wrote the lyrics because that's another story. You know what I'm saying? But we want to say where it stemmed from. And Boosie was surprised to hear Kanye come out and say the things that he said, just like everybody else. So it's like now everybody is on the fence with Kanye, man, because you saying outlandish things just because you got a Billy. You know what I mean? A billions, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Now, this is the first nigga we seen, you know what I mean, that lost it all, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, some gonna say lose it all, but, you know, fell from a bill and then got bills back. You see what I'm saying? So, like I said, he is a GOAT. But like I said, you know, Boosie was just, you know, trying to build up on, you know what I'm saying, his mental, you know what I'm saying, situation. You know what I'm saying? Because Kanye do say outlandish things, say things that people don't understand. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, sometimes he seem irate. You know what I'm talking about? So it's like Boosie is basically, you know, being, you know, on some get back type time. You know what I'm saying? Because he did respond to Kanye, you know what I'm saying, and told him after what he said, he better chill. Now, Kanye West says that, you know, he smells poor, you know, the nigga is poor. You see what I'm saying? And then he say they took a piece of you know what I'm saying, and made him talk, you know what. You know, I can't say this on YouTube, bro. So I gotta say this, man. I gotta, you know, watch how I, you know, word these things, man. That's why I'm being a little, you know, apprehensive. You understand what I'm talking about? Now the thing is this, man. You gotta understand this about Boosie. He gonna be, you know, just as outspoken as Kanye. Now, when we talk about money, it's no question that Kanye is gonna say what he want to say. You know, to anybody when it comes to money, he did it to Rihanna in a group text, Beyonce, Jay-Z, and a few others in a group text. You know what I'm saying? And he actually said, "I'm richer than y'all." And, you know, he just throw stuff out there like that. So you know, we ain't gonna talk the money talk. He can talk the money talk, but you know, when he talk about Boosie the way he talking about, he talking in a passive manner, man. You know, Boosie is a legend in his own right as well. He may not be as big as Kanye. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna tell you one thing about it. Boosie is gonna say what's on his mind, you know, whether it's his business or not sometime. Now, do people feel like he's selective? You know, yeah, at times, you know, Boosie is not gonna speak up on certain people because certain people is in the streets, just like he is, and tied the street links and everything like that. And it could put them back behind the wall, you know. So that's why, you know, certain things may seem selective. It ain't that he's scared of nobody, it's just, you know, people is gonna get busy as well, you know, and things can lead to the streets. So Boosie, you know, do hold back on some things, but Kanye ain't one of them, and Kanye not holding back on Boosie as well. So I mean, we can't get mad at Kanye, you know, for going back at Boosie and saying what do you think. I mean, it's kind of crazy that at one point in time you wouldn't even hear Kanye mention Boosie, you know, at one point in time. And this is when Boosie was probably at the height of his career. You know, I'm not saying he didn't know Kanye. I'm not saying Kanye bigger than him or nothing. But, you know, to see right now Kanye going at him like that is kind of crazy to me. So I chalk it all up as Kanye venting and Boosie venting. And they going back and forth. I mean, it's only making Boosie name bigger. I mean, and more relevant. Because you got one of the biggest artists of our generation, which is Kanye West, like it or not, saying his name and actually putting his name out there. And Kanye is smart. He know what he's doing. He actually like Boosie, I feel like, and he actually is helping Boosie, whether Boosie know it or not. Because at the essence of Kanye, he is actually a helper, and so is Boosie. So that's why Boosie didn't go too much in on him. He just said, "Yeah, you better chill." You know, he put that tweet out. So at the end of the day, Boosie may come back and say some things, but it ain't gonna spill over to anything to where when they meet each other, it's gonna be any, fists is thrown or, anybody getting shoved around or nothing like that. Cause at the end of the day, it could go left, and we know that because Kanye is irate. We done seen him on the episode of Pump when they tried to take his camera, how he was acting. So, Lord knows, what's gonna happen. So at the end of the day, we just gonna sit back, man. It's the 100 mob.